my name is Michelle Reyes, and I'm going to be a graduating senior here at Doja Libby Medical High School. And thank you all for coming out to my senior defense today. And as you can see, my senior defense is based on Tolkien's Hobbit, and it's my quite expected journey. So concerning Michelle, a little bit about myself. So I am the youngest child of 3, and I have an intense passion for music. I've been playing clarinets since 4th grade, and this is now 9 years going on. My friends describe me as motherly, empathetic, bubbly, happy, beautiful, and a leader. So here's my family. As I said, I am the youngest child of 3, and as you can see here, this is my sister Rachel and her fiance Andrew. Up there is my brother Joshua and his wife Gabby, and my mom Ella, and my dad Moses. My mom is here today, and she truly has been my inspiration for everything I have done throughout my life. I know I would not be here today and being in the academic and the personal sense that I am without her, because she truly has pushed me to my limits and truly has inspired me. And here is the nerd herd. Hi guys. They truly are my second family, and they call me Mama Shell because of our close family unit. And as you can see here, all the smiles and all the happy faces on here are truly genuine, and I truly would not replace them for anything in the world. They have inspired me, and I truly love each and every one of them. So it's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out your door. You step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to. A quote by Gandalf the Grey. So I was accepted and applied to 8 different colleges. I got accepted in each one. And I had a very difficult time deciding between my initial dream school, UC Davis, and kind of the curveball and the more prestigious school, UC Berkeley. And I'm going on an adventure at UC Berkeley. So I will be majoring in molecular and cell biology in the fall, and in coming as a freshman, I will be hopefully dorming with Christina, and I will be joining Cal Band in the fall as well. I already sent in my audition, or I applied for my audition, and hopefully I'll be doing that too, and be minoring in music. So may the wind under your wings bear you, where the sun sails and the moon walks. Taking my biology degree, I hope to go on to graduate school and get my master's degree or even my doctorate degree, and pursue either a career as a physician's assistant or as an optometrist as well. So with these 2 careers, I particularly chose because of my super extroverted personality, and I love the biological sciences as well. So I decided, I'm going to combine those 2 with a very clientele and very personal based career, so I can truly be involved with people while still pursuing my passion for biology. So the journey begins with my thesis. Coming into Doja Libby Medical High School, I was emotionally scarred from a traumatic family event, academically behind the ASD standards in core subjects, as well as socially petrified due to a sudden change. However, over the next 3.5 years, I would have turned a small, inconspicuous cow pasture into a home, becoming a leader in my small community, and through collaboration with my peers and building my confidence through my speaking skills and ultimately my involvement and advocacy for important issues, abstract and practical, at my school. The last pages in this book are for you, Sam. Remember to have some more adventures, as they are what makes life worth living. So this is a quote from the very, very end of the Lord of the Rings saga, and this is spoken from Frodo Baggins, the main character, to his best friend Samwise, and he's encouraging him to continue writing his book as Frodo follows the footsteps of his uncle in writing his unexpected adventure. And he's encouraging Sam to write about the different concepts such as courage and bravery, and to continue a story because this is what truly made his life worth living as well. So taking this at Doja Libby Medical High School, I probably could write a 3-book saga as well with my concepts here and all of the experiences that I have done. So being at Doja Libby Medical High School, I've learned to become an effective communicator, especially in my writing and especially in PowerPoints, as you can see here. I'm able to now truly convey my ideas in not only a personal setting, but as a group setting as well. And beginning with my sci-fi essay. This was a junior year project project where we had to take a science fiction movie, and it was super fun because I chose Star Trek Into the Darkness, the most recent Star Trek movie. Sorry, Matt, not Star Wars. And we had to either prove a superhuman ability to be plausible or implausible. The ability I chose was the antagonist Khan and his amazing superhuman ability to regenerate within seconds. He was able to grow back limbs within minutes and even bring Kirk, the main character, back to life with his blood. So with the sci-fi essay, this was a perfect combination of my English persuasive writing skills and especially my physiology, different concepts that I learned, such as anatomy and different cells. And I took a article from physiology called the salamander article, where we learned about how salamanders are able to grow back their tails and other limbs. And I was able to compare their cells to human cells as well. And I was able to realize that this is really not plausible for a human to regenerate or at least at that quick speed. And taking that, I actually used the advanced concept from that year, which was a physics concept which I would learn this year in my senior year. And I used the velocity over distance over time formula using my basic algebra skills, plugging it in, and calculating from a 60-foot drop off of a spaceship to the ground, and the impact and the force that it took on Khan's legs, which I've discovered that nobody should have survived that fall, let alone be able to run 2 seconds afterwards with their superhuman regeneration skills. And because this is a sci-fi essay, you cannot just go online and Google, oh, Star Trek? Google, let's see, regenerative skills, without just getting fan theories and fan articles, instead of scientific-based facts. So I really, truly have become a complex and critical thinker, really trying to tie in together abstract ideas and applying them to this sci-fi essay. So I had to take my previous knowledge from physiology and all other classes that I learned and truly combine them together for this essay. And by applying my abstract theories to it, I also became health literate, and I was able to adapt as well. Because initially for the sci-fi essay, I wanted to focus on his superhuman strength, but I ended up scrapping all my research and freaking out slightly and going with a more narrow approach with the regenerative skills. And much like physicians in the real world and other healthcare professionals that I'm looking into for my career, by applying their research and both their clinical and their educational research that I have done in their schooling, etc., I too will be able to take my research and abstract theories and be able to apply them to patients to really see if a treatment would help them or hurt them, or if it's really too dangerous to proceed for any other treatment that I may be giving them. So continuing on with the Night at the Medical Museum project, this was also a junior year project that we did, and it also combined almost all of our junior year classes, including physiology, health science 3, English, US history, and Spanish. So the goal of this project was to take a era, so ours was the 1960s and 70s, which I particularly enjoyed because they had amazing pop music during that time, such as Queen and the Beatles and all that. And I truly love the revolutionary spirit of the time period with the civil rights movement. So I particularly enjoyed learning about that in US history or writing about it as well. And we were supposed to take a disease of the time. So mine was leukemia, which is still a disease of today, but it was the beginnings of chemotherapy during that time period. So I had to really research and become familiar with this, and I had to write in my English class a journal creating a character who had leukemia and inserting them into the time period. And in Health Science 3, I also had to create a medical journal, as you can see here right up there in the back, that kind of manila paper. And I had to create a medical form about them as well. And in my Spanish 2 class, we had to create a children's book in Spanish about our disease as well. So the most difficult part of this assignment was collaborating with 2 other amazing people, Emily McCutcheon and Andres Soto. So they also had to do everything I just said, and we had to condense all of that information into a single 15-minute PowerPoint. And that was super stressful and super yeah, super stressful because I had to condense all of the amazing information that they had as well into that PowerPoint. So this assignment required a lot of patience and definitely extensive collaboration with my peers because we also presented on open house, as you can see in the other three pictures, and we had to communicate with the community, and we had to have an interactive game for children and for adults as well, which was really interesting because I moved away from more of an essay and very PowerPoint, very organized type of communication to a very casual, like, oh, hey, learn about this now type thing. And this project truly taught me to be an effective communicator of my ideas, especially in a group setting. So fool of a took, throw yourself in next time and rid us of your stupidity. So this is a quote spoken from Gandalf to one of the hobbits, Pippin, and this is the scene where Pippin accidentally tossed a piece of armor down a well and alerted a huge horde of goblins, eventually leading to the most famous scene, "You shall not pass," and the famous scene of the wizard's demise. However, Pippin learned from his mistakes and eventually became a very vital member in the Fellowship of the Ring, saving them from various battles as well. And I, much like Pippin, have made many mistakes here at Dojo Libby Medical High School. I have failed essays, I have failed tests, and failed projects as well. But I too have come and learned from this, and I am now able to solve these problems and prevent any further failures, and truly learn from my mistakes as well. So this is my growth item from sophomore year, the Complementary and Alternative Medicine. So the CAMP project, in short, was a project where we had to become culturally competent with a foreign third world country. So the country we chose was Vietnam. Basically what we had to do is we were assigned a disease and we had to basically treat a patient in a scripted form, which in this case was Arcadi, the one that was different, that is dressed differently. And we had to truly be culturally competent and be able to treat this patient while being aware of the Vietnam culture and being sensitive to them as well as being in the Western world. So in one word, this project was described as disorganized, completely disorganized. We had issues with scheduling. We had issues with turning in assignments on time. As you can see here on our puzzle pieces, it was smacked together the night before and just kind of pasted on, and we're like, here, take it, please. And our biggest problem was outfits, as some of my group members may have remembered, as we could not coordinate. People forgot their free dress on our professional dress on our day, and it was completely disorganized. However, this complementary and alternative medicine project truly gave me a stepping stone to the IES, which is a senior year project. So the International Economic Summit. Once more, we were assigned another country, which was Italy this time, which I particularly enjoyed because of the food. So we were assigned to a foreign country, and this time the goal was to improve the standard of living through simulating the economy, trading, and by trying to improve the health equity issue. So this project is totally the opposite of the CAM project. We were organized and it was amazing. So as you can see here, all of our outfits are super cute and we were all very organized and all very dressed the same. And as well as our assignments were turned in not only on time, but we had assignments turned in early. So we were extremely on schedule, and I was the group leader for this project as well. So I was able to truly keep everyone on schedule, and we were turning in everything on time. And for this project, we had to learn about our country and aim to improve it, right? So we had to use different economic skills such as GDP per capita, etc. And I could not have truly understood the state of Italy without using my math classes here, statistics. So with statistics, we were able to compare the US data to the data of Italy using two-way tables, graphs, mean, proportions, etc., and other statistical related topics to really truly understand the data. And I know without my statistics class, I would not have been able to really truly assess the state of Italy and what we could do during the economic summit. So beyond just the economics of the economic summit, we had a motion graphic, as you can see in this bottom corner here, the youth binge drinking in Italy. So this was a very, it was a motion graphic which I was in charge, and we had to truly take a new form of technology. I decided to go instead of the Movely type thing, which was a very online oriented. I decided to take my own perspective on it and create our own stop motion graphic in which we were manually moving papers and all that. We ended up getting one of the finalists in the Economic Summit, and I can say this was definitely my best video in all the years I was here at Dojo Libby, and I'm very proud of that video. And so during the actual summit day, it was a mess. We were, first of all, betrayed by Japan and kicked out of our alliance that we formed. So we had to be a very interpersonal and very outgoing character, especially myself, who we basically formed a new alliance and kind of destroyed Japan, not to mention anything. But then there was the lemonade disaster. The lemonade disaster is right here. You see this big, huge jug of lemonade? The spout came off, broke. Lemonade everywhere. And we especially had to think very quickly under a super stressful situation because it was getting sticky and everything was pouring out. And we ended up duct taping it really quickly, and we ended up preventing this disaster from getting any worse. And then I discovered through the whole economic summit that this day in particular was the most stressful day in my whole high school career. Especially, I was literally ripping out hair that day, as some people probably have seen me. So I learned that organization is key, especially in the IES and in my future as well. Especially because I will be going to UC Berkeley, and I know when I'm writing that essay at 2 a.m. in the morning when it's due at 4, that I'm gonna be a little bit thankful for the IES for the pressure and knowing how to function underneath it as well. So I found it's the small everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay, small acts of kindness and love. So this is a quote spoken from Gandalf to Frodo, encouraging him to go and destroy the ring and embark on his journey. So this quote particularly inspires me because it tells me that I should be a community member, and that it's the small acts of love and kindness, as it says here, that really truly make the difference in the world. And that Dojo Libby has changed me from a very introverted and micromanaging character that really didn't trust anyone on projects. I said, do not touch this, I will handle it all, to more of a person who can back off while still being a leader in my group projects as well. And going towards a group-orientated cause for a member of that as well. So the Project EDDI, which stands for Envision, Discover, Design, Invent, and then Execute, was a medical innovative project in which I was to design a tool or utility in order to help a disabled person or differently abled person. So ours was called the Keiki Bakey No More Shaky, and we have the final product right here. So for the Keiki Bakey No More Shaky, it's a baking tool, and it's supposed to help people hold a pan like this and be able to take out cookies from the oven. And it's for a person who had their hands amputated or were born without hands, so cut off right here. And they are able to be given independence and be able to bake those amazing cookies that they really wanted. So this Project EDDI used different physics concepts such as momentum, force, Newton's law, such as equilibrium, and we were to design 2 different prototypes. As you can see here on this picture here, this is our very basic duct taped version, which was basically scrambled together, put it there, first prototype. I really had to adapt, and we basically turned the whole project upside down in order to use, we use different types of power tools and all types of other technology in order to create our final product, as you see here. So our product actually uses a first class lever, and it's supposed to have the fulcrum here, and for physics, it's supposed to have an equilibrium so you're able to lift it without hurting yourself as well. So this project really challenged me to be very practical and took my abstract ideas that I had in physics, learning about equilibrium and all that, and condensed it into a project where I actually could touch and like see how it works. I was able to move from those very abstract ideas into a very real life situation. So in addition to being very practical, Project Eddie also was a very ethically conscious project in which there was ethically sensitive, especially with cultural awareness and sensitivity, not only in a racial type sense, but definitely in a more of a disability and differently abled sense. So I had to definitely have basic knowledge for ethical concerns and stakeholders, and this was required in order to create an ethically sensitive product. So if more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. So this is my music. So music is created through a collaboration of many musicians and their abilities. Each member must assume individual responsibility and in their practices and learning their parts. So assuming an individual responsibility was a very big part of my growth as a musician. And I have been playing, as I said in the beginning of a presentation, I've been playing clarinet since 4th grade, so this is a very vital part of my life. So I have learned that in a collaborative cause, a musician must be dedicated and practice their own parts. So I've learned that contribution to a group as a whole from an individual perspective is very important. So typically it is assumed that group work means room for error, so you can slack off. So this was a psychology concept that we learned called the diffusion of responsibility. And it means a person is less likely to take responsibility for their action, or rather inaction, when others are present. However, musicians cannot do that. Can you imagine if the amazing soundtrack of Star Wars was played and the trumpets played everything wrong? It was like da 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 da, and it wouldn't sound right because they didn't practice their part and they didn't take individual responsibility for themselves. However, this applies to me especially in not only in a music sense, but in a group sense in all of my projects here at Dojo Libby as well. I was able to take, I need to do my part of the assignment in order to get our 100% or 10 on this project as well. So my growth as a musician, starting in my freshman year when I had a solo at Deer Valley High School, I was very focused on a very individualistic, what can I do to improve myself? I need to do always improving myself, to a more of a group-oriented leader type person who really is able to lead 20 to 30 people as I did in my church and become a section leader as well and here at Dozier Libby Medical High School. So I truly had to grow and understand that I need to look at the bigger picture instead of being a very individualistic person. And this truly, music has allowed me to become a leader not only in music, but as in my community as well. And moving on to UC Berkeley, I will be joining Cal Band, hopefully, and I will be auditioning soon and over the summer, and I hope to become a leader in that group as well, and truly, not maybe be a section leader, but be able to expound my own knowledge and be able to help others who are not quite as advanced as me, or be able to contribute as a group as a whole, inspiring new ideas or whatever it may be. And I will be minoring in music as well, so I'll be taking different types of theory classes, etc. And after college, and I am planning to join community groups as well, such as a Contra Costa or anywhere nearby, such as Oakland or wherever else. And I hope to truly expand my knowledge and become a leader in my community through my music and playing beautiful music for those around me. So revisiting my thesis, starting with a quote. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. And this is by Gandalf the Grey. Now that I'm finishing my journey here at Dojo Libby Medical High School, I have significantly grown in my academics, not only meeting, but succeeding the AOC standards. I have more credits required to graduate. I was able to expand my horizons, showing my interest in biological sciences, and properly advocate for the hobbies and passions that I have acquired along the way. Through various clubs and involvement in music, I have contributed to my small school community. Dojo Libby has taught me to thrive in a rigorous academic setting, forming unforgettable relationships along the way. Thank you for listening. Is there any questions?
I saw you. Yeah, I have a question for you. and you had also touched on culturally competent. Can you tell me a little bit more about what culturally competent means to you?
So for me, culturally competent, yeah, I'll pedal back to Cam. There he is. So culturally competent for me mainly means being aware of other people's cultures, because especially in being diverse as our community is, especially in California, and being able to be aware of like different types of greetings or whatever it may be, especially in a medical sense, because this project truly showed like traditional medicine and how some people were against having blood donation or blood transfusion, and being aware as a healthcare professional especially that this is a very sensitive topic that could affect others, especially if I become a physician's assistant or in my optometry career as well, or whatever other healthcare career I may pursue. I must be truly like aware of what my patient and their background as well, because it truly is very sensitive topic, especially when prescribing medicine or giving treatments or whatever else I may be doing during that time.
Oh, Michelle. Can't think of a question.
That's good.
I know. Well, I'll just ask you a general question. What made you decide on becoming a physician's assistant or an optometrist?
There you go. As I said, I mentioned a little bit before, but I'm a very extroverted person, and I love people, and I love being surrounded around with people. And I wanted to really like combine a very clientele based occupation. So with physician's assistant, I would be really involved with patients, and with still having like a life outside of being a doctor instead. And also with optometry, I could run my own practice and be really associated with my patients, especially because you see them every once in a while, or they'll come into me for different prescriptions for their glasses, or come for me for questions or whatever else they may need. And I can get very close with my patients as well and be involved with them as well.
Very good. All right.